Page 55, Too Cool. On page 54, they have a little bit of music theory for you. It's really pretty simple as far as I'm concerned. Directional reading and writing. You can see in the staff when the notes tend to go up, you're going up the keyboard. And when the notes tend to go down, you're going down the keyboard. So much for directional writing. And when the notes are next to each other, like an interval of a second, that line space, you're going up by seconds, one note after another. And when they go down, same difference, okay? If it's line to line, next line, it's the thirds. Or down. Everything. So much for that. It comes in handy when you can learn to recognize the intervals and so forth in the music. Eventually, it comes in handy. Just keep it in mind. I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it. Just know what it is, whatever it is. In this lesson, though, at the top of page 55, they're introducing you with another symbol called a flat sign. So, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. So far, we've only used the white keys. Now, with the flats, we got to start using the black keys, too. We're going to start using all the keys. I trust by now you know the names of all the keys on the keyboard. You don't need stickers on your keyboard to tell you the names of the keys. If you do, you really need to go back and start the book again before you go on. You're just digging yourself a hole. Got to learn the names of the keys on the keyboard instantly. There's only 7 of them, depending on where you start. I don't care. Now remember, we use the black keys to tell us what the white keys are. For instance, a C is at the lower of a group of 2. So I'm looking for a C. I first look at the black keys to see where the groups of 2 are. Then I go down here and, okay, that's a C. I know that's a C. And I'm doing that with all the others. I know where the white keys are based on their positional relation to the black keys. Well, we tell what the black keys are by looking at the white keys. We have things in music called accidentals. They're not accidentals because they're accidents. They're accidentals because they're temporary. They change the note temporarily. A flat, think of a flat tire going down. A flat goes down. It changes the note down 1 note on the keyboard, white or black. So if I have a G and I want a G flat, I simply go down 1 note, white or black, here. So that is a G flat. And they all work that way. I have a D, that's a D flat. An E, that's an E flat. That's a G flat. That's an A, that's an A flat. That's a B, it's B flat. Well, I can also have a C flat or an F flat, even though there's no black key there. That's why I say it goes down 1 note on the keyboard, white or black. Here, goes down 1 note, that is a C flat. Technically, it's not exactly the same, but for piano it is. And you say, no, it's a B. That's silly. Why would you use a C flat when you just got a B? It has to do with music theory and note names. We got to use specific note names for what we want in the harmony. And when the harmony calls for a C, you use a C. But if you don't want a C, you want to go down 1, then you say C flat. That's the way it is. Not my fault. Some idiot years ago did it. Centuries ago did it. Same with the F. If I want an F flat, I go down 1. So any note can be flatted. And you'll find that all the notes, white and black on the piano, have multiple names anyway. But hopefully you know what their names, some of their names are at least. You know the names of the keys, the basic names of them. Now you also know that this note is not only an E, but it can be an F flat. It can even be something else too. I ain't going there right now. It'll scare you off too bad. We'll get there later. So the flat sign, and you'll see it right in front of the note. Like in the first measure in the lower staff, you see a C, B, C. Well, the B has a flat in front of it, so instead of a B, I'm going to play a B flat. So it's that. Like so. That's all it is. Now, as I said, these are accidentals. And there are rules for accidentals, although people don't agree on those either. They don't agree on anything in music. Why should they agree on this? And I've been on both sides of this conversation because it kind of depends on which instrument you play, as far as I can tell. For piano players, I'm talking strictly piano players, the accidental in the music, that flat sign, that applies from that point on for the rest of the measure in that staff. Every staff has to have its own set of symbols. So if I had a B in the upper staff and it did not have a flat in front of it, it would be a B natural. It has to have its own flat sign. See, it's not that way for all instruments, but other instruments don't necessarily use more than one staff either. So that B is here, and if I had another B in the same measure, it would still be a flat, but only the measure. When I get to the next measure, that flat doesn't count anymore. It's gone. That's why in the second measure, they have to give you another flat sign, because it's in a different measure. But look at the third measure. I have two B's in there. They're both flat because the first flat sign in measure 3 applies for the rest of the measure. So both of those B's are flat, but only that measure. So that's how it generally works. Didn't always work that way. There was a time when it was different, but I've already confused you enough right now. We'll talk about the difference and how it's evolved later. Let's just know what a flat is. Any note can be flatted, and generally speaking, at least for now, we're going to use the same finger on the black key that we had on the white key. So if we're in this position, I have second finger on B, I'm going to use second finger on B flat. So now, in feeling your way around, you need to be able to know where those black keys are without looking eventually. So here, I need to be able to change my finger where I need to go without looking, because the hand position is actually this. The flat isn't there. It will be someday, but not right now. So you have to change your finger to that when you need it, and then you put it back. So that here, so I put it back, it's here. Third measure, I can leave it there for the measure because I'm using it again. There. Some people will leave it there for the whole piece. Teachers will teach that, but that runs into a problem later on when you do that. So I'm suggesting the hand position is this, and you simply move there when you need it for that measure. And the right hand works the same way. Look at the second measure. We have an E, we have an E flat. So we're going to play that. And that's the rest of the measure. So both of those E's are flat. But in the next measure, they're not. They're naturals. They're all naturals. So the E flats are only in the second measure there. And that's flat signs. There are more accidentals. We'll get to them later. Let's just do this one thing at a time here. So let's look it over. It's 3 lines long. Treble, bass, clef, 4/4 time signature. I see quarter notes and half notes and whole notes. And we do have a few accidentals stuck in. All right. Here, both hands are playing at the same time. So now I'm going to take it one hand at a time first. And then I'll put them together. So the right hand, second finger here. That puts the hand here. And just the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again, just lift up. Back out. 2, 3, 4. So I do the right hand. Then I do the left hand. Well, it starts thumb here. So here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 3, 4. See how the left hand works. Then I put them together, and a lot of times it's almost like starting over because you're using different fingers, and one has a black key and one has a white key, and blah. Okay, that's part of the fun, don't you know? Just take it slow and easy. We'll get there. Here, and then here, and then here. 4, and now you have a E flat in the right. Here, and then back to an E natural. So I work it out, the whole piece, hands together. Then I go back over it slowly, maybe a line at a time or so, or maybe a measure at a time, and get rid of any hesitations. No hesitations anywhere. Then I add the articulation. We're going to connect these. Lift up. I guess these are phrases, I don't know, but you're going to lift up between each one. And then in the last line, you get staccatos, the flexing of the wrist. I'm on just each is a G. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I add the articulation. Then I add the dynamics. Mezzo forte, whatever, sort of loud. And then the measure 9, you go up to F. Now it's loud. Whatever you think loud is. Not super loud, just loud. Then the speed, slow blues. Well, not a lot of help. They give you a metronome mark. It's a... Two, three, four. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Basically how you might play it. Experiment. Try it at different speeds. See what you think. And again, try and get where you can play this without looking at the keyboard, where you can feel where these black keys are without having to look. Let's play this together slowly. I'll give us 4 counts. I'm not doing any dynamics. We're just playing the notes. This is just to make sure you have the right notes at the right time. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. 4. 2, 3, 4. 4. 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Off. Now there's a duet for this at the bottom. I'd like to play that. I need you to go up an octave again. So just pretend middle C instead of here is here. Instead of here, you're up here. Play it all up here. I'll give us 4 counts. I have to change this accompaniment a little bit because I need to play something on every beat so we can stay together, because I can't hear you, I can't stay with you, but that's all right. I'll make it up. 1, 2, ready, go.